Hey there! Welcome to Songs by Sid, Episode 2. I'm Sid. If you saw Episode 1, I gave a fairly detailed intro of who I am and why I'm doing this show. If you missed Episode 1, you can catch it on my YouTube page, Songs by Sid. I will tell you quickly that I am a full-time professional musician, music director, and songwriter working on Long Island and in the New York City area. For the next half hour or so, I will be talking about songwriting and music and using some of the songs that I've written to demonstrate things that I'm talking about. For now, that's all you need to know, so let's get started. Episode 2, Songs by Sid. For this installment of the Writer's Corner, I'm going to share with you a short article I wrote for a songwriting newsletter a couple of years ago. I could talk about this subject for hours, and I probably will do more segments on it, but for now, I'll just refer to the article. The name of the article is The Prime Time to Rhyme, The Magic and Mystery of Rhyme in Songs. Okay. The main rule to remember about rhyming in songs is that there are no rules about rhyming in songs. When, where, how, and why to rhyme will vary greatly from one song to another. The best that any writer can do is get armed with a few basic principles, an active imagination, and a little common sense. Okay, what does that mean? The closest thing to a rule on rhyming is that rhymes should never obscure the meaning in a song. While many successful, well-respected songwriters have, on occasion, ignored that guideline, those same songwriters, in most of their songs, have followed it. In general, if your song is supposed to tell a story or make sense, it is unwise to throw in a rhyme for the sake of rhyme, especially if it leaves listeners scratching their heads. Fair enough. A rhyme is a rhyme is a rhyme. Not exactly. An exact rhyme is exactly that. Joke and smoke are exact or perfect rhymes. Joke and boat are not. Moon, June, and time, mind are classic exact and inexact rhymes that have been used in countless songs to the point of cliche. What does this mean in songwriting? Not much, except to know what you are dealing with when you are calling something a rhyme. It's mostly about context and expectation. If throughout your song you have mixed rhymes, you have set up an expectation that some things will rhyme and some things won't. That's okay, and the listener will follow along. If, however, a highlight of your song is that it is filled with one pair of exact rhymes after another, it may be a letdown to the listener to suddenly come upon an inexact rhyme. Variety is the spice of songs. There's no one place or way to rhyme in a song. You can rhyme at the beginning, middle, or end of a line. You can rhyme every line, every other line, or at any number of intervals. You can use double, minute, winnet, triple, crazy dress, hazy mess, and even quadruple, January, and man you marry. That's a quadruple rhyme. Rhymes anywhere you like. Again, guided by context and common sense, you are only limited by your imagination. Of all the words in all the world, you had to use that one. With over 1 million words in the English language, no writer should ever get stuck trying to rhyme any one particular word. In fact, it's funny to look at the handwritten song drafts of many of our great songwriters and see how they scratched out some really odd words and phrases until they got their final, often classic lyrics. We don't need no stinking books. Many of the world's great songwriters have gone on record to state that when they write, they keep 2 books handy, a thesaurus and a rhyming dictionary. I have both of those. My thesaurus is in my closet, and this rhyming dictionary is kind of a beat up mess now because I've used it so much. Anyway, that was a diversion. Most have said that while the truly great rhymes may not be found in these books, they often use them to get new ideas or to spark the imagination. Writers working on a song about a particular subject, a historical person or event, for example, will use any number of books to find words related to that subject. Reference books are made to be used. And finally, why bother? For hundreds of years, rhyme has been used as a way to make music more musical. Words that rhyme can also help listeners follow and remember a song they are hearing for the first time. With a little effort, rhyming in songs can be extremely satisfying. So that's my article, basically a jumping off point for a discussion of rhyming in song lyrics. As I said, we could talk about it for hours. It's been written and discussed from the beginning of time. Can be very, very challenging to find rhymes that work in your song, but also a lot of fun when you find the good ones. So let's go out there and find the prime time to rhyme.
The sky was blue and the grass so green. The men prepared for battle like some old world scene. 2 rows of big brave giants standing 9 feet tall. In my imagination I could see it all. It was Saturday football on the radio. My dad and I would sit and listen to football on the radio. My dad and I would sit and talk about everything in the universe, or nothing at all, as we followed that ball. The ball would fly and the crowd, they'd scream. Each sound would bounce around me like a loud wild dream. I felt like I was in there when my guys would score. And when the game was over, oh, I'd cry for more. I was living for football on the radio. My dad and I would sit and listen to football on the radio. My dad and I would sit and talk about everything in the universe, or nothing at all, as we followed that ball. 40 weekends every year, my dad was still my dad. He worked most every day and night to give us what we had. But when September rolled around, I knew what we would share. When me and my best buddy each pulled up a big porch chair. Got big flat screen standing 9 feet tall, about 13 million channels, and they show it all. I call my dad on Sundays and we talk our game. We see every little detail, but it's not the same. I'm missing my football on the radio, when my dad and I would sit and listen to football on the radio. My dad and I would sit, we'd talk about everything on the universe, nothing at all. My dad and I would sit and listen to football. We talk about everything in the universe, or nothing at all, as we followed that brown leather, funny shaped ball.
This is a segment I like to call trunk songs. For those of you who don't know what a trunk song is a song that you have written for a show or an album or some specific purpose, and you don't end up using it for that purpose, or you replace it with another song. So then that original song goes in the trunk or in the drawer or in your folder or back on the computer, and you use it sometime in the future, or maybe you never use it again. I'm going to be using songs from my musical The Molly Maguires as a majority of these trunk songs, because essentially for every song I've written in the score, I've written one or two other songs that are no longer in the score. And in some cases, some people ask me, oh, what happened to that song? I love that song. And for one reason or another, it just didn't work. It didn't say enough, or there was another song that said more. The first set of songs I'll be featuring are songs that were written to introduce the main character of the show, a man named James McParland, who is a Pinkerton detective, an Irish-American Pinkerton detective in the 1870s. He's hired by a Pennsylvania coal mine owner to infiltrate a group of Irish coal miners who are striking out against unfair working conditions, and they start destroying property and injuring people. And so this coal mine owner calls the Pinkerton agency to get a detective. Now they send this Irishman, and the coal miner is surprised that an Irishman, he doesn't actually trust that an Irishman would be able to turn against other Irishmen. So this song was written to sort of bolster his credentials about why he would be good for the job. The first version of the song, which I'm going to play right now, is a song called No Regrets. And basically, he is saying, I don't care about anyone. I am out for myself. Don't worry about my loyalties. My loyalties are to me. And it was a good song. It worked for a few years. You can listen to it. Here it is, No Regrets, sung by the character of McParland/McKenna.
All right, James, this here's your shot. Only decent shot you got. Let's show these downton Yanks what you can do. 10 long years of standing by while the gravy went to the other guy. Looks as if it's finally come to you. You can't go back to where you were, busting heads at $8 per, hiding out in slumtown flats, spying on the sewer rats. You faced your share of dirty looks, you've chased your share of petty crooks. This could be your moment in the sun. There's only one sure way to get it done. No faces, no names, no regrets. No favors, no grudges, no debts. You came here with a job to do. You damn well better see it through. No faces, no names, no regrets. No sorrow, no shame, no remorse. No reason to stray from your course. You can't afford to fear or dread, so cool your heart and clear your head. No sorrow, no shame, no remorse. No sides for you to side with. No ties to tie you down. No home to make you homesick. You live your life for here and now. You'll manage to survive somehow. No faces, no names, no regrets. Be careful to cover your bets. You came here with a job to do. You leave the day your work is through. No faces, no names, no regrets. With no ties for here and now, you'll manage to survive somehow. No faces, no names, no regrets. Be careful to cover your bets. You came here with a job to do. You leave the day your work is through, and in another year or two, you won't remember who was who. No favors, no grudges, no debts. No faces, no names, no regrets.
So No Regrets was used for a few years in various readings and workshops, and we realized that it just wasn't saying enough. It basically was a one-dimensional song that was just saying, I don't care. So we needed something that was a little more expansive. So the next song coming up is a song I wrote called This One Chance, which incorporated some of that I don't care about anyone else, I'm in it for myself, but it gave a little bit more of the backstory, actually a lot more of the backstory about the difficulties that he had coming to America, trying to find work, and also being discriminated against himself for other things that other Irish people had done. Listen to the lyric of the song, and you'll see why No Regrets is now a trunk song, and This One Chance is now the song that has been used for many years and in productions to introduce the main character, McParlin/McKenna. Here it is, This One Chance.
You try to lump me with this lot, but you'd be wrong. I got this far by learning not to go along. I am my own man, I've made my own way. All that I've had to earn. I am my own man, I fought my own fights. Now I get something in return. I've had enough of standing by while the gravy always goes to the other guy. This time it's mine and mine alone. I've had enough of taking blame for everybody else with an Irish name. I'll have a name of my own. Well, it didn't take long till I made up my mind that I had to break free from the rest of my kind. But as hard as I worked and as good as I got, I was always held back from a really good shot. And this one chance is all I ever wanted since the day I came to this land. I will earn my way, determined and undaunted, for I hold my fate in my hand. I won't go back to the way things were, busting heads at $8 per, biting my tongue and biting my time and breaking my back and making that climb. I'll get my share in Denver. It's waiting there in Denver, 'cause I've had enough of slum town flats, spying on drunks and sewer rats. I've scraped and scrapped for so much more. I'm gonna work in a brand new place where I ain't gonna have to hide my face. I'll have my name on the door. But I gotta keep smart and I gotta keep tough and I gotta keep going when the going gets rough. 'Cause there's nothing to fear, there's nothing to dread if I cool my heart, if I clear my head. For this one chance, it's all that I'll be getting, and I know damn well what it takes. There is no time now for doubt nor regretting, and there ain't no room for mistakes. This one chance is all that I've been needing since before I sailed across the sea. There is no one now to stop me from succeeding with this one last chance left for me.
This segment I'm calling Random Thoughts, and it's going to be exactly that. Just things that come to mind, probably mostly about music, some about songwriting, maybe some about life. In this particular episode, I'm going to take from an article that I remember many years ago I read, not many years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago I read, in Keyboard magazine by a keyboard player named Scott Healy. He was writing, I think, under the name of the Session Sensei. And he wrote some really great stuff about, practical stuff about working in the music business. And this is something that I've just been thinking about lately, talking to a lot of people about lately. So I'm going to kind of, with a nod to Scott Healy, Session Sensei, I'm going to kind of paraphrase what I remember from that article. I couldn't find the article, but I think I remember basically what it was talking about. But the gist of the article was about doing a gig. Why do you do a gig? He started out by saying he was recently with some musicians who were complaining about a gig that they were playing, and they were griping about why would they be doing this gig, and basically was saying to them and to other musicians, if you have a job playing music, you're a musician, that's a great thing. There's really nothing to complain about. But beyond that, if you've taken the job, you should have taken it for a reason. Let's start with number one, money. You got paid. You're getting paid to play music. That's an amazing thing. This is what you wanted to do. You wanted to play music. So if you take a job, whether it's a lot of money or a little bit of money, you've agreed to do the job. You're getting paid. You got to do it. You got to treat it like a professional job, and not complain about it. If you don't want to take the job, if you don't like the money, you don't need to do the job, don't take the job. Another reason he said you would do a gig is for the experience. Now there's a couple of ways that you can translate experience, meaning experience can certainly mean you want to get better at something, you want to practice something, you want to be in a situation that you haven't been in before so that you'll be more experienced at it. That's one way to look at it. If you're a really advanced musician and you don't think you need that kind of experience, then maybe you want the experience of that job. Maybe it's playing with certain musicians that you've never played with, or playing a particular piece that you haven't ever played. That kind of experience, like experiencing something, rather than just saying, I need experience. You want that experience. I did some really cool gigs at various places. I played on Ellis Island one time, which was very cool, inside the Immigration Center at Ellis Island. I played on Staten Island with the Statue of Liberty in the background, right on the water. A lot of really cool experiences that I remember, and they helped shape me as a musician. So that's one reason you would do something. Now these reasons apply to other things. They don't just apply to music jobs. They apply to anything that you decide to do. So another reason why you might take a gig is because this is a piece that you have never played before, something that you want to play. That's maybe part of the experience thing. Another very good reason for doing a job is because it's going to be fun. You're going to have a good time. You're really going to enjoy it. You're playing with friends. Maybe it's for pay, maybe it's not for pay, but you're going to have a good time. So that's a great reason for doing a gig. Another reason could be that you are volunteering your time to play for a charity event. I play a number of charity concerts every year. They're great. It's for a great cause. So playing for a good cause is a great reason to take a gig. The bottom line is, in this article, if you decide to do something for any of those reasons, it doesn't have to be all those reasons, just one of those reasons, then that's a good enough reason to do it. And it's a good enough reason to go in there and to do it well. So that's my first set of random thoughts, and now I'm going to follow that by some random songs.
I used to wonder, how did this happen? What did I do to deserve this pain? And I'd be thinking, why did I come here? Those were the questions that racked my brain. But now I know that there was a reason, there was a purpose behind it all. And I believe that I found a meaning for each single moment that I recall. Every bridge I've crossed, every love I've lost, all the stupid Now we're together, saving our memories, building a lifetime from day to day. And I don't feel that time has been wasted. I see the past now with no remorse. 'Cause what I thought were aimless connections were signs and directions to chart my course. Every bridge I've crossed, every love I've lost, all the stupid things that I said or did, every dream I dreamed, every scheme I schemed, as a grown-up man or a mixed-up kid. Anytime I cried for a hope denied or a birthday wish that did not come true, every price I paid or mistake I made, they were all small steps on the way to loving you. And if just one day was changed, or the path was rearranged, I might be standing here alone or holding on to someone new. But now I'm looking in your eyes, it's worth the life that I've been through. Every bridge, every love, all the things that I said or did, every dream, every scheme, as a man or a mixed up kid. Anytime I cried for a hope denied or a birthday wish that did not come true, every price I paid or mistake I made, they were all small steps on the way to loving you. On the way to loving you.
So that's it for episode 2 of Songs by Sid. Thanks for watching, and thanks for letting me share with you my songs and my songwriting ideas and my random thoughts. You can check me out on any of the social media listed in the credits. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you next time on Songs by Sid.